everyone, it's Sachiko Rainbow here, and today I am going to be taking a bit of a trip down memory lane, and you guys will, I don't know, I guess laugh at me for being weird? I don't know. Anyway, if you've watched the very first video that I ever posted on here, or the first couple actually, you would know that I was completely obsessed with this show, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I'm not going to say that While I may not be as over-the-top obsessed as I was before, it is still genuinely one of my most favorite shows. I love it so much. It is over now, but I think it's really awesome, and I basically grew up with the characters in the show, so it's always going to have a very special place in my heart. But as a die-hard fan, and a little child that I was, still kind of am, the only logical thing to do was to express my love for the show in a variety of different ways. Some of which you know, such as voice impressions. But a much more common way that I expressed this was through drawings, and today I found this, which is also My Little Pony themed. And in it is a special treat, something I haven't thought about in such a long time, but when I started it, I was so obsessed with it. It was so awesome. So we're going to be taking a look at this and see, looking back, just how cringy it is. Let's jump right into it. So jumping right into this, open it up, and we've already got some treats in here. This, I made a whole yearbook for Cloudsdale Academy. It was really funny. My favorite pony was always Rainbow Dash, but a close second was always Fluttershy. And so they were both Pegasus ponies that lived in the Cloudland of Cloudsdale. And so I made a whole yearbook with all these different random ponies because I wanted to see what they looked like in school or something. I don't know. It was really, it was a time. This I think is a bunch of other random stuff that we don't care about too much right now, but this is what we're after right here. This is what I want to look at. So I don't really know the best way to film this, so I'm just going to kind of wing it and take it as we go here. So this was the very first, or no, not the very first. This was the most recent one I made. As you can see, it's not finished, but I made these whole comic strips for MLP. This is the 16th one. So there's 15 other ones of these that are completely filled. The whole page, the whole page is completely filled. I don't know when I made this. It was a few years ago, but not crazy long ago. I don't know. But, yeah, this was the most recent, but the very first one looked like this. And it's front and back, too. Look at this pony. What is that? It's so scary. So there's actually a really interesting story to how this whole thing started, because when I first decided, I don't even know what made me first decide that I should make a comic. I think I just had a blank piece of paper in front of me and was like, what if I made a comic? That'd be so cool. And so I kind of did it, but I was going to color the whole thing and everything too. But as you can see, a lot of this is not colored, and there's actually a reason for that. How it actually started was I started coloring at first, but then I think it was probably the blue one, or one of the colored pencils, it was getting dull, and I couldn't sharpen it because I guess I didn't have a sharpener like a child. I don't know why I couldn't just get a sharpener, but I was like, oh, my pencil's dying, and I guess I'm too lazy to sharpen it, so what do? I make a whole story about it. So in this first one, which I later called The Colorless World, the most creative naming skills ever, as you can see right there. In this one, we have our main protagonist, Twilight Sparkle. She's walking along, and then she goes into this colorless world, and she's like, what the heck happened? And there's just this wall of colorlessness, and that's how this two-part comic starts out. And so it kind of has an interesting origin, but I can't get over these drawings. Like, what is this? It's so bad. Honestly, I can't help but think this is just like adorable. Like looking back, I'm like, aw, little Sap, you were so cute. You thought this was so funny and you thought this was so good. I remember doing this whole thing. I worked so hard on character development and like I could hear all of their voices, and honestly, if I'm being totally honest, I still totally can. I can hear how I said it, and it's like in the exact voice of the characters. I was like, I believed this was like canon, this was the real stuff. I believed in my heart that I was writing Friendship is Magic, that I was in charge of this, and it was so great. So yeah, in this first comic, Twilight Sparkle, she goes into the colorless world, and she's like, oh, that's strange. And then Applejack shows up. Ugh. Camera angles are weird. Applejack shows up and she's like, hey, how y'all doing? And she's like, you gotta come with me because there's a problem. And then Twilight's really confused. And then she sees all of her friends there. And she's like, why are you all colorless? And then Rainbow Dash is like, you're not very colorful yourself, you know. Because I thought it was cool, I guess. I don't know. Also, I used the wrong your. I don't know if you can see it, but I used the wrong your, and that makes me really mad. Looking back on this now, I kind of want to cry, but you know what? Past Sap was probably like 12 when she made this, so we'll cut her a little bit of slack, just a tiny bit. She still should have known better. But we'll cut her a little bit of slack for that. So basically the ponies are fighting, and then Twilight spreads out her wings and goes, stop! And she's like, you're friends, remember? And they're like, you're right. And then they still start fighting because that's how it works. And then Twilight tries to enter back into the colored world. Where is it? She tries to enter back into the colored world, and all of her friends are like, wait, no, stop, Twilight! And then it's super anticlimactic because, she's just like on the other side, like, what? She's like, oh, you're okay? And they're like, how are you over there? And they're like, nobody's been able to get over there except you. And they're like, Twilight, you're our only hope. Twilight, Kenobi, you're our only hope. And then Twilight's like, I won't let you down. And I did this super cool shot where like she's half colored and half not because I was so artistically gifted. That's just how it was. And then she goes, because I have a plan. Look at that derp face. It's so great. Then she brings the elements of harmony, which are like the most powerful things in the world. She's like, oh no, the colorlessness is making them fight one another. No, wait, no. Fight and argue, sorry. The colorlessness makes them all fight each other. And she's like, everyone stop. And then, so I tried to make them act like opposite of their personalities. And Applejack's whole thing is she's super honest, right? And so in order to portray that, when she said, everyone stop, Applejack goes, okay. And then Twi goes, okay. And she goes, I mean not okay. Ha! This was my comedy when I was 12. Why? So basically Twilight uses the elements of harmony and she returns her friends to normal and they blast the color back into the world. And they're like, yay, we're friends again, and the world is colorful, and it was the most coloring in my life, and it was really hard, but it was a trend from then on, and so then everything was back to normal, and they're like, I wonder what happened, what could have caused so much chaos? And then they were like, oh, it's Discord, that one creature that causes ultimate chaos in all of the land, and always does everything, and they're like, blast him back to stone, because he used to be in stone, because he was evil, but they tried to reform him, but he's still kind of mischievous, you know, that Discord. And they're like, yeah, and then Fluttershy's like, no, because she loves him, and she's the one that reformed him, so she always is kind to him and whatever, and she's like, no, don't do it, and they're like, why not, and then, because I ran out of space on this two-parter, and I didn't know how to end it so fast, I had so much more planned. I remember, I had so much more planned, but I had to wrap it up real quick, so all I did was, Fluttershy's just there, like, Discord sent a letter, he said he did it, and he's sorry, and Twilight's just like, oh. Okay, and that's how it ends. So that is The Colorless World, parts 1 and 2. That is the first ever My Little Pony comic I made. Remember, I have like 16 of these. Well, 15 complete ones. And I decided that every like 10th one or something, I'd make a two-parter. So just like this first one is a two-parter. I think part 10 is also a front and back as well. That much I remember. There's so many memories with these. I was like so dedicated with this. I made so many of them. I had so much passion for this. And like, I mean, looking back, like, even at my newest one, first of all, quality, man. Like, the quality on this, it makes me really happy. Like, just seeing the difference, you know? Like, something you did years ago and something you did not as many years ago. And just seeing the improvement, that's pretty cool. But also, like, just looking at this, it's like, wow, this is so much fun. I have a story and whatever, and I'm so genius. And it like makes me want to do more almost. That's probably what happened last time with that one, honestly. Like, it was like I started it and then I stopped for a few years and then I made like 2 more boxes and then I started back up again and I'm gonna start up again. I don't know. I probably won't, but I probably will. I don't know. So, yeah, that was the first one. If you want me to do more of these, then let me know, but I think that's all that we're gonna have time for today. So, let me know if you like this idea. I know this was so much fun for me, and honestly, I want to look through all these other ones because they're so awesome. Just reminds me of simpler times, man, you know? It's great. So, if you like this, let me know in the comment section below. Tell me what else you might want to see me do on this channel. I'm pretty much game for anything. As you've probably gotten the drift by now, I have done so many different types of videos, and I want to keep expanding my horizons. So if there's something that you want me to try, or want to see me fail at, or succeed at, whichever one, just let me know and I can try to make that happen for you. Remember, this is for your entertainment purposes only. My goal is to make you smile. So with that, I bid you farewell. See you next time.